I'm Ryan, and I'm making a colorful action samurai game filled with blood and graffiti. If you think that sounds cool, do me a favor and wishlist Colorful Katana on Steam. As Steam wishlist numbers rise, so does my will to live, so make the right decision. But anyways, my previous devlogs have all been about creating the base combat system and loop, with some colorful polish thrown in along the way. Now, I'd like to build on top of my previous work and add a combat scenario for the player to run into as they are exploring the open world. You know, before I started developing Colorful Katana, I wrote down a few gameplay pillars and goals that I wanted my game to fully encompass. One of those, and possibly the most vital for open world games, was making a handful of creative and fun one-off side scenarios for the player to randomly run into as they explore the world. Think about how Elden Ring handles its open world. That game is chock full of weird creative shit just frothing at the mouth waiting to kill you. And that's exactly what I want Colorful Katana to be too, albeit on a much smaller scale. So, I did some brainstorming and came up with a handful of combat encounters that the player may end up facing on their travels. Oh, and yeah, make sure to hit me with some wacky quests and combat encounters in the comments as well. I have literally no creative integrity, and I'm willing to do whatever I gotta do to finish this game. So yeah, show me what you got. But enough about idea thievery. One scenario I came up with all by myself was having the player run into a barbaric cult, hellbent on doing whatever evil cults do. Murder, probably, that'd be my guess. I was slightly inspired theme-wise by a popular indie game called Cult of the Lamb. I really like the dichotomy between the creepiness of a cult and the cuteness of the animal characters in that game. So I paid a little homage and decided that I'd make my game's cult worship foxes, as well as wear masks resembling them. Okay, so perfect. I've got the idea. The easy part's done and I've got a solid jumping off point. But now I have a lot of work to do. My plan is to create some new fox cult enemies with unique movesets, as well as a cult hideout environment. So, let me work on implementing all those fun things, and I'll be back momentarily. And we are back. So really lock in with me here. You're an ex-samurai in feudal Japan minding your own business when, bam, you run into a group of furries doing TikTok dances around a strung-up, bleeding corpse. Naturally, you challenge them to a fight, and a brand new enemy type is introduced. The previous melee enemies have all used swords, but this guy lunges at you with his spear. It's a basic enemy with a limited moveset, but the timing of the parry is slightly different than that of the sword, which helps with combat variety. You'll take those guys out and search around the area, finding more cult members huddled around fires or just shaking ass. Eventually, you come up on a cave guarded by the second new enemy type. This jumpy fox cult member is a little less basic than its spear counterpart. This guy's a little more tanky and also happens to moonlight as an Olympic level high jumper. Again, I really wanted to switch up the parry windows with this enemy, adding some more variety other than more boring sword slashes. After an attack, this enemy will roll away from the player, providing an opening for the player to attack. Or you can simply parry the jump attack, staggering our little leaping friend. Either way, they're dead now, and we can move on into the fox cult's cave hideout. The cave's interior area is still a major work in progress, so bear with me here. I'm not entirely happy with the lighting and visuals just yet, but I wanted to give you an early look at what I've been working on. Also, the simple camera system I've been using for Colorful Katana really doesn't work for interiors, so I was forced to write a somewhat janky work-in-progress camera system to avoid camera and wall collisions. I'm not convinced that this is the solution I want in the long run, but honestly I'm sick of thinking about it and I just need a break for now. On a happier note, one small detail that I think really enhances the feel and atmosphere of the cave is the fog of the player's feet, moving and morphing around them as they walk through. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty proud of the way that looks. And of course, there will be fox cult members in the cult cave, that was a given, so you'll take care of those guys and run into the third new enemy, the ranged gun-wielding fox. In case you're new here, this game is set in feudal Japan, but with a few modern enhancements, two off the top of my head being guns and graffiti. Now I'm still working through the animation jankiness of a lot of the ranged combat, especially with this enemy, but functionally he works as intended. Unlike the previously shown pistol enemy who shoots one shot at a time, the ranged fox shoots a burst of 3 bullets at a time. Parry all 3, return them to sender, and watch him get a little taste of his own medicine. I like having these guys on higher platforms in the cave such that you'll be fighting the new melee enemies while you also have to deal with bullets raining down on you from above. Outside of that, the cave is mostly barren, but I'll list off a few things I intend to add to it in the future. Maybe even near future for a few of them. Once side quests and dialogue are implemented, I'll add a friendly NPC into the mix. Once pickups and currency are implemented, I'll add a chest or some form of treasure or item to find. And last but not least, a fox cult boss. I'm picturing a quick enemy with a spear, and maybe a gun as well in a later phase. We shall see. Anyways, we made it. That's all I've been working on. My plan is to start work on the fox cult boss, but depending on how long it takes, I may push that back a video or two and share something else. Not totally sure just yet. I appreciate you watching as well as the support I've gotten on the previous videos. Your comments and ideas are genuinely super helpful. At this point it's just a matter of getting to all of them. With that being said, keep them coming. Oh, and wishlist Colorful Katana on Steam if you're into it. That would be immensely helpful. And do all the YouTube stuff too. Love you very much. See ya.